Welcome to a day on myBlock. Super excited that you're here on day one. Here we go. Because we have a whole exciting, interesting crew to talk to you guys today. And actually, I wanted to start with why we're here. So we are here because we are offering an fascinating and really interesting investment opportunity to buy and sell real estate on Web3. So we're going to get into those details and what that means. But first, we'll just talk about who is here. So I'm Jen Day, a real estate agent and host extraordinaire. And here with me in the studio is our real estate expert, developer, and broker. Needs no introduction, but I will anyway. Ty Cueva.
Thank you. Thank you. Excited to be here. And don't forget about Ratava, Mr. Mark Schwartz. Want to introduce him?
Yes. Thank you so much for being with us here, Mark. You are our crypto expert and advisor on all things Web3 and myBlock. So Thank you for being here.
It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Mark's definitely my advisor on all this stuff. Mark's been after us since him and Gil have been after us to get into Web3 and do this since 2021. So, Mark, thank you for ensuring and shamelessly sending me texts and all of us texts about what we're missing out on. And now that we're here and we've been with you for about 6 months now, it's been quite a ride to get us to where we are and getting ready to launch. But I want to thank you for sticking with my ignorance and making sure that we have full participation. And so from all the team on the what I would call the traditional pure real estate side of things, thank you for making sure that we're joining you on this journey. And it's actually more of a revolution. And I know you can't wait to go into everything you're going to go into today and all these wonderful segments we're going to do. I'm excited. I'm excited that you made sure that we wound up into this date and what we're about to launch. So thank you.
My pleasure. We're gonna have a good time.
Yes, Mark, you were the catalyst. So a lot of this is due to you. So thank you very much.
So can we get into what we want to do with myBlock really quickly? Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So
in a nutshell, all we're trying to do is we're just trying to connect the world, everyone, with the opportunity to purchase real estate via Web3, and specifically myBlock will be that vehicle that they can go ahead and, for instance, to put it into layman's terms, think of it this way: if you have $1,000 and you want to buy into a piece of real estate, think Sears Tower. I know, Mark, I asked you this earlier. Is it still called that? Probably not. Empire State Building, or a local, you could be in Austin, Texas, and you want to buy into a 50-unit apartment building. You can fractionalize it, and you have access to buy into that building. That's what myBlock is. We're connecting real world assets to everyone, connecting it to all. And so that's what we're doing.
So Ty, you are the founder of myBlock, and there's so many layers to this, which is amazing. And obviously we're going to give you guys little pieces as we go so you can kind of put it all together. So this might seem like a lot right out the gate, but when you talk about real estate and giving people an opportunity and giving everyone an opportunity, what does that actually mean? How does this work? And why did you decide to bring this to the world?
Well, it's that accessibility. We have a location. Just think of it as a framework or a location where you can go and you can buy or sell real estate. And we are providing a service that in today's world, you don't have direct access. You can buy into a REIT. you can do things like that. There's obviously, in Web3, we see, and Mark will get into this in a little bit, but what BlackRock has done and how they're kind of, using their ETFs and what they're doing and how they're going with their, with Bitcoin and how they've got into the market and they're utilizing Web3 to have real world assets, and we'll call them RWAs moving forward. And Mark, anytime I screw up, just let me know. But we want to do the same thing for real estate. And one of the things that will be, I think everyone should have in the back of their mind, and I did mention Mark back in 2021, and they talked about this, and this is not new. This has been going on for over a decade. It wasn't until, recently, more like May of this year, which was September 4th, 2025. So it was about 4 months ago, almost to the date. I think it was May 8th, Mark, when you sent that note out of where the SEC pivoted and how they're going to allow RWAs to be more common, more accessible, things of that nature. And you've seen a lot of things change in the last 4 months. But not to ramble, and I think what's important is that when you have the ability to go online, get in your wallet, and go buy real estate, and where they thought the market was going to be about $1 trillion market 3 or 4 years ago by the end of the decade, 3 or 4 months ago, they talked about it being a $4 trillion market by the end of the decade. And now, Mark, I think one of the articles you said to me the other day, 3 months later, now the forecast is 15 to 20 trillion. So we are going to talk about something that is happening today. myBlock is not the first in the world, let alone in the United States, the first to fractionalize, tokenize real estate. There are other companies already out there doing it. We just believe that how we're going to do it, how we're going to position it and offer up what I would call high ticket items, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's, the biggest building in your town, your city, all the way to, you name it, multi-family. This is going to, I believe, not just in our lifetime, but within the next decade, it's going to change the way people transact, purchase, buy, and sell, especially commercial real estate.
Yeah, so you brought up two very interesting points. So what's going on in the finance community and with currency in 2025? Mm-hmm. And also you mentioned tokenizing. So that brings me to you, Mark, because we aren't just offering a percentage of property and, like you said, buying into REITs and things that already exist. There's something very special about this when you're actually buying tokens and you're using Web3 to do that. So Mark, why is it important that is, the platform for myBlock?
Great question. Look, in Web 2, which is the reality we live in now, you could probably give it a shot and take a trophy property and put it out there to the world and say, look, I want anyone who wants to own a piece of this property to send me some money, and you'll have a fractional share of ownership in the property and maybe even some of the rental income. How's someone going to send the money from Brussels or Australia, right? What are they going to hold that represents their ownership, and how quickly can that get in their hands? Crossing borders, wire transfers, banks, permissions. Web3 checks all those boxes, right? You can, in a permissionless, borderless, instant way, money can be sent through stable coins, for example, to myBlock from anywhere in the world, from any party with just a phone who wants to have a fractional ownership in a piece of real estate. And what they will receive in return instantly is a digital asset, let's call it a token, that they can see on their phone. And it sits on something called a blockchain, which is uncensorable and immutable, can't be taken away from them. And there it is. The transaction happens without middle parties that would otherwise slow it down, block it, deny permission, add fees. When you think of blockchain and Web3, think of one word: disintermediation. We're just taking out the middle parties, and buyer and seller connect directly.
Yeah, this actually, we're both in real estate and we know how complicated some real estate transactions can be. This seems to simplify it to really the kind of the basic level of just the buyer and seller and making the transaction happen, and you have a smart contract and boom, done.
Right. Right. Well, I think why don't we take a quick break
Okay.
and we'll go right into smart contracts next, and Mark can lead us off there. And we could also talk about Mark on the next segment. I think we should maybe touch on what the SEC came out with today in terms of some rulemaking. Okay.
Great. Okay, we'll see you guys on the next one.
You know,